Zwift FTP versus TrainerRoad FTP. Listen, today we are going to explore FTPs in a little bit of a different way. So I took the FTP test on Zwift earlier this week and I got a score of 307. And I struggled with that because it felt a little high for how little I've been working out lately and honestly how little I can sustain an effort. So I texted my friend Brent and he had some suggestions. He said, well, you'll know as soon as you start doing a workout whether that number was off. Oh, that's a good idea. So I did a workout the other day and inadvertently had my FTP on Zwift set up at 400. So I totally bombed the workout, but I didn't know that till afterwards. So after that just total failure of a workout, I got really frustrated. Finally, I figured out that it was because my FTP was set up wrong. I did another workout after that, easy peasy, no problem. But it still got me thinking, maybe there's still something wrong with that FTP. So Brent had a suggestion which I think is brilliant. He had just done recently the ramp test on TrainerRoad, and I thought, that is a good idea. So what I'm going to do today is the ramp test on TrainerRoad. Because TrainerRoad built their FTP test in such a way, I don't think I'm going to find it very taxing. My first workout of the morning is going to, let's see what we got here, Merry Christmas. I'm going to do the TrainerRoad FTP ramp test, and then later today, if it all works out, then I'll do my regular workout for the 4-week booster. I believe I'm on day 4. But I thought I'd just throw together this little video just to compare Zwift FTP versus TrainerRoad FTP. And we'll see which one gives me the more accurate result. Yeah, and I get to try TrainerRoad, which is really cool. I will say this, the setup on TrainerRoad, flawless, really, really well executed. So I'll explore that a little bit deeper probably next month, which is going to require me to pay for it because I'm burning up my sample this month. But this is what I give to you, channel. This is what I give. So if you like what you see on this channel, please do subscribe. Hit the little bell button so you're notified when I do launch a video. That way, I've run into a lot of people lately that tell me they subscribe, but I don't feel like they're viewing very many videos. So let's, not that, it's not a big deal. I get that they're boring and total waste of your time, but... Okay, that is the end of my test. I blew up doing the TrainerRoad test. So I didn't want to bore you with tons of screen recordings because there's really not much to see on the TrainerRoad app itself. But anyway, it was a good test. So here's a rundown of what the Zwift FTP test looks like. So there's a protocol, 20-20-20 warm-ups, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 6-minute rest, and then the 20-minute FTP test. Now the TrainerRoad app is very, very different. It is a 20-minute total protocol, 25-minute, I guess, and it ramps you up 1 minute at a time to go up by a certain amount of intervals. So it's up, 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 until fatigue and total failure take over and you give up, which is what you just saw me do. So it goes up by a fair amount of intervals. That's where I failed. I was doing 392, and then I was supposed to move up to 410, and that's where I blew apart. So that was my run through the test. But I'll give you my wrap up here in the next couple minutes and you'll see what I thought about that. Oh man, I thought I quit too early. I really don't think I did. Like I said there, I thought I gave up too early, but in retrospect I feel like it was right. I could have maybe pushed myself another 5-10 seconds, but I was cashed, completely and totally spent. So I think that's a good sign. It was the first time I ever did the test. Maybe I'll do better in the future with more practice, but I really like where it ended up, and both numbers are pretty close. All right, let's talk about first impressions after that test. You know, I felt like it went pretty well. I got a score of 299. Strava earlier this week put me at 307. Between then and now, I had a couple of workouts. One that was just way too hard. And last night I drank 4 beers and stayed up till midnight. It's not a huge deal, but it's out there. Certainly did not do that the day before the Zwift test. I think I said Strava earlier. Anyway, God, I get all these things so mixed up. But I feel good about the TrainerRoad test. I like the test. Definitely accomplishes the mission. The mission of the test is to make a more approachable test, I would say, so that you're more likely to do it more often, so you can keep your zones in line. And I have to say, I'm super impressed with the TrainerRoad. I almost messed it up again. The TrainerRoad app. It is buttery smooth. It works great. One negative thing is during the test, it messages you a lot, which I could probably do without. So I think I'm 99.9% sure I saw a setting where you can turn that off if you don't like that. So that is nice. Okay, and I got everything set up with Strava and Training Peaks, so everything uploaded. If you're curious to see what happened in detail, you can go to my Strava account. I think you can find me under Brian Davis Races. Otherwise, you can find me on Instagram at Brian Davis Races, and I'll post the graph there, and you can always message me there if you want to figure out my other links, but I guess they're always at the end of this video. Duh. Okay, overall, really good. It's interesting, like, that pacing I got on Zwift was absolutely positively far and away the best pacing I've ever done on a 20-minute test. And I've done probably 15 of them in my life, so I feel like I have a bit of a handle on it. This was the first one I ever did of this, and I did a step test years ago when I had a trainer, and we did the lactate threshold with the blood pricks, which was really cool. But and I remember it being much harder than this. But he was also there yelling at me to keep going, and I feel like I definitely had a few more watts in me if that were the case. So, yeah, I guess if I'm going to grade it, let's give it 5. No, I don't like that. 5 coffees, 4 coffees, 3 coffees, 2 coffees, 1 coffee. So I think I'm going to give it a TrainerRoad FTP test. I'm going to give 5 coffees versus Zwift FTP test. I'm going to give 3 coffees. The short version, I'm going to give 3 coffees. Maybe 4. I'll give it 3.5 coffees. And the TrainerRoad one, I think is perfect. So, if you're shopping for an FTP test to get started on any of these training platforms, I'd highly recommend jumping on the TrainerRoad platform, downloading the app. At least with me, my friend sent me a link and I got a free month. So I don't know if you have to pay right away. Though what I don't like about it is I had to give my credit card straight away, and then they're going to auto charge me. And they said, "Don't worry, you'll get an email." We'll see about that. But I like the test. I really like the app. And I will say this: some of the fastest people in our region absolutely positively use TrainerRoad. And there's not a ton of the people that you're scared of to go race against that are using Zwift. So you can read into that whatever you want. There's lots, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of people on Zwift that can kick my butt. No question about it. But if you're chasing the best, maybe TrainerRoad's the way to go. It just seems a little more focused and polished. But I'm going to give it a longer test in January. We'll see. God, that was a lot of babbling. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.